back. In this video, we're going to be focused on f of x equal the square root of 3 minus x. So using this limit definition, let's just go ahead and jump into it. So the square root of 3 minus, make sure you use parentheses because that's a binomial. The negative is going to affect everything that's inside there. Minus the original function, 3 minus x, all over h. So the rules of these type of problems, when you got square roots, you want to multiply the top and bottom by the conjugate. So conjugate of this ugly thing here, 3 minus x plus h. Now we flip the sign, this becomes a plus. All over the same thing. Again, we're not changing the value, we're just multiplying by 1, so we're just changing the way it looks. Alright, so the top is in the form of a perfect square. Therefore, the middle term should cancel. So square root times square root. Square root just go away, and we just get what's left up under there. So let's let the limit h goes to 0. So square roots just cancel. So the first one would be 3 minus x plus h. And if you look here, when we multiply these two terms, we get a positive version of it. And then when we multiply these two terms, we get a negative version of it. Well, apple minus an apple just goes away. So if you want, you can write them, but you'll see that they cancel out eventually. And again, rules of perfect squares. Last term times last term will give us a negative. Square roots cancel, and we get 3 minus x. And you realize that I put parentheses before all the ones that had negatives in it. Just get in the habit of using parentheses with all your binomials, because you might have to distribute a negative sign between each term that's inside the parentheses. So let's simplify this a little bit more. So we get the limit as h goes to 0. I should have wrote that below there. Below the limit as h goes to 0. So we get 3 minus x minus h minus 3 plus x all over h. And oops, I'm going to write the LCD right here because I don't want to keep writing that out. That's so long. So 3 minus 3 x minus x. It looked like this one is just a negative h on top also. When this h goes to 0, negative h, like a double negative, all over h times the LCD. Well, I'll go ahead and write it this time because now I guess we need it. So square root of 3 plus minus x minus h plus the square root of 3 minus x. So again, h over h is just 1. So at the top, we're left with a negative 1. And it looked like at the bottom, we're left with just our LCD. 3 minus x minus h plus 3 minus x. Well, now what happens when we plug in 0? Well, this term right here just goes away. Now we're left with negative 1 over 3 minus x plus the square root of 3 minus x. Well, again, an apple plus an apple is 2 apples. So we can combine these terms and say it's just 2 of them. A little messy, but doable. Just keep it organized and you should be fine. Check me out on the next video. We'll do some trig functions.